So the goal for today's lesson is to be able to multiply fractions. So we're going to look at how we can multiply different fractions. So this question here, 2 over 9 times 5 over 7. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply the top first, so 2 times 5, and also I'm going to multiply the bottom, which is 9 times 7. So 5 times 2 gives me 10, and 9 times 7 gives me 63. So you get an answer of 10 over 63. Now in this question here, 1210 times 5 over 16. Before I continue with my multiplication, I need to make sure that it's simplified. Okay, so you need to make sure that the numbers are simplified before you actually go on and multiply those two fractions. So in order to simplify, I'm going to cancel out 16 and I'm going to divide it by a number so that it gives me a smaller one. So I'm going to divide 16 by 4, and on the opposite side at the top I'm going to divide 12 by 4 as well. So I'm going to divide those two by 12. So 16 divided by 4 gives me 4, and 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. Now on the other side I'm going to divide those two opposite numbers by 5 to give me a smaller number. So I'm going to divide 10 by 5 to give me 2, and 5 by 5 to give me 1. So in the end, you get a fraction of 3 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 4. So it's in its simplest form, and I can go ahead and multiply the two fractions. 3 times 1 gives me 3, 4 times 2 gives me 8. So you get an answer of 3 over 8. Now here you've got a mixed numeral fraction. So if you have a fraction where you've got a number on the left and then you've got your fraction, it's called a mixed numeral fraction. So first thing I'm going to need to do is make sure that you convert it to an improper fraction. Okay, so just you converting it into an improper fraction to make it easy for you to multiply. So an improper fraction just means you have a numerator and you've got a denominator at the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to times the bottom number by the left number. So 4 times 2. Okay, so 4 times 2 will give me 8. So that's 8. And now I'm going to add it by the number at the top, which is 3. So 8 plus 3, which gives me 11 over 4. So my first fraction into the improper fraction is 11 over 4. So I'll do the same thing to the other fraction. So 3 times 1, which will give me 3. And then I need to add the number at the top to give me 4 over 3. So now you've got those two fractions and you converted them into the improper version. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put them next to each other. So 11 over 4 times by 4 over 3. Okay. Now what I can see is that you can simplify this fraction before you move on further. So you have to make sure you're simplifying your fraction before you're multiplying them. Okay, so first step, converting it into the improper fraction. Then you need to simplify before multiplying that fraction. So I'm going to simplify 11 over 4 by 4 over 3. Now in order to do that, I'm going to divide both of the 4's by 1. Just both of the 4's by 4 to give me 1. So you have 11 over 1 times 1 over 3. And then I can carry out the multiplication. So 11 times 1 is 11. 3 times 1 is 3. So the third step, once you've multiplied, is to make sure you can convert it back into your mixed numeral fraction. As it started off as a mixed numeral fraction, so we're going to put it back into a mixed numeral fraction. So 11 over 3, and to simplify that further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 at the bottom. Now 3 times a number that's closest to get me to 11. So what I'm going to do is put 3 there. So 3 times 3 is 9. You add 2 to get 11.